everybody. Thanks for joining me as we take a look at your forecast, well, at the storm that's coming up for Saturday, which will be high impact, mostly just in terms of the roads. Not going to be a huge storm in terms of snow removal or things like that, although with some snow and then some sleet on top of it, where you do have to shovel, it is going to be kind of a pain to move, but it's not going to really be enough where it causes huge issues. But the roads could be slick, definitely. So just want to kind of give you an update on what's going, how it's going to pass through, and also, there is another storm potentially next week, although certainly the overnight models moved away from it quite a bit. So we'll have to see if that becomes a trend. If it does, that would be good, because the models for the last couple of days before this have been indicating the potential for a pretty good-sized snowstorm next week. Right now, that looks much less likely. So, yeah, I know we live in snow country in a snow area, but it's late March. Everybody's starting to look forward to spring. Okay, first of all, here's some rain and that's going to move through today with today's system. And this is actually what is ushering in the air. The system, as this front kind of moves through, the air that's going to set up the stage for us to be cold enough for any frozen precipitation, because I don't know if you've noticed, but it's been really beautiful out and really way too warm to for any kind of frozen precipitation the last few days. But we'll see on radar here in a second. Plenty of cold air just to our north in Canada and to our west. And so as this system slides through, a boundary is going to move south, and that's going to move some colder air in for us, which will set the stage for snow initially, but it won't stay snow because we're going to have overrunning precipitation. The storm's going to mostly go to our west. And so like it's happened many times this winter, we're going to get warm air riding over the colder, relatively colder air, and we're going to get a decent amount of sleet out of this system. Looks like mostly sleet, maybe a little bit of freezing rain mixed in, and then some change to rain maybe in the valleys. The good thing about that is it means that for the most part, really no, as not much as sleet can be slippery on the roads, it's not as bad as freezing rain. And freezing rain is what also gives the potential for power issues. I don't think any of that's going to happen. So here's our storm getting going, though. Lots of energy on the southern jet stream here. Not a lot of northern support for this one, so that's going to keep it from getting too strong, but a significant influx of southern energy. All these storms that have been parading onshore in California have kept our pattern very active. We've been in a very active pattern, and that's part of what's pushing the weather forward here. If you take a look at radar here, you can see here's today's storms, some sort of scattered showers, probably a couple bands of them, one that kind of comes through as an initial kind of warm front or kind of just boundary layer, and then as the front eventually sweeps through, we'll get some more showers later on in the day, today or in the evening. Behind that, though, you can see we got a lot of below zero temperatures in Canada still, and single numbers here in upper Minnesota and in the Dakotas. And that is chilly, cold enough. We're not going to move in anything anywhere close to that, but we are going to move in a piece of this. It's going to kind of settle towards us, and that's going to set the stage. Here again, surface reflection of the beginning of our low, which isn't really getting going yet, but is starting to get going here across the desert southwest. So let's take a look at, what is going to happen here. So by Friday overnight, here's our system, as you can see, moving well to our west. Again, warm front. We are going to try to redevelop a little bit of a coastal low. It's going to develop way too late to keep us mostly snow with this system, as this happened all winter. But it will help keep the warm air from flooding in and changing us all over to rain. As you can see, the storm, as it gets going, pretty good. Definitely some big-time thunderstorms going to happen with us Friday afternoon, a little bit further west of here, actually, as the front moves across. Eventually, this will turn into a pretty big snowstorm for the Great Lakes area, but not quite as much snow-wise, at least here. So by, Friday overnight, we're already there. Let's go to Saturday morning. Yeah, that's where we want to go. Again, you can see system has made its way to about the Chicago area. Again, snow starting to develop around the primary low back here. And we do see a little bit of a hint of some frozen precipitation in northern Pennsylvania, central New York, as this starts to head in our direction. We probably break out with some snow by around midday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. So that by Saturday midday, or this is probably more like early afternoon by the time we get to this map here. We've got some snow going on. We're starting the transition to sleet already. You can see the orange in here. That's showing you your sleet. Again, like I said, big snowstorm going on by this point, or at least significant snow happening across particularly Michigan, western Michigan, northern Michigan. And then we've got rain. We are starting to get that redevelopment of a low off the coast, and that kind of is helping to lock in cold enough air at the surface, at least, to keep us as frozen precipitation. And if we go to Saturday evening, sorry, go the right direction here. Again, here's our redeveloping low here. By that point, we're into mostly mixed. I think we transition anywhere from, so precipitation starts 11 to 1 p.m. By like 3 to 4, we're going from snow to sleet. And then the sleet will fall pretty good through early evening. Then we lighten up with just some light rain, sleet, freezing drizzle kind of mixed precipitation through the evening till about midnight. When things wrap up completely and the system is done. So again, travel will be tricky really anytime from probably 1 to 2 p.m. through about through daybreak or so on Sunday. Crews will get a chance to get out there on Sunday morning and get things treated. It should be pretty good on the roads by even by pretty relatively early in the day on Sunday. But Saturday afternoon and evening will be a little bit rough on the roads. Let's take a quick look at some of the details of that. Keep going the wrong direction. Here we go. Precipitation begins 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday. Precipitation begins as snow and changes to sleet during the afternoon on Saturday. A general 1 to 3 inches of snow before the change to sleet. This will turn to kind of a slushy mix. So that'll be dense, heavy shoveling. So you're going to want to get out there and kind of scrape stuff off. But yeah, it'll not going to accumulate too much. Sleet continues through about midnight on Saturday night. Roads will be slick Saturday afternoon, but should be in decent shape by Sunday morning. So not a huge deal, but if anything changes, I'll certainly have an update with you. I'll probably have a snowfall map for you, a snow sleet map for you tomorrow morning with the weekend update. Certainly by then I'll mention again for you what the storm early next week looks like coming up. And otherwise, I want to give a quick shout out to my patrons to help support what I do here at the West River Weather Guy. I really appreciate their support. And also, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel before, I would encourage you to do so. I'll be back tomorrow morning with a look at your weekend forecast.